known transforming robot. It's probably shit, but if I just bet a quid, it really won't matter.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Ray here, not back for another Transformation review thing. Not quite yet, very, very soon. But this is my Auto Assembly 2013 haul video. Haul and postscript. I suppose that's a nice poetic way of saying it. So a week ago today, I came back. That is on Sunday. You'll probably go up on Monday, probably, knowing how the speed of things working these days. And came back a week ago and just had a great, really, really good time. It's interesting how I don't know if it's just me or if it's everybody else as you get older. The weeks kind of seem to get a little quicker. So I mean, it's another 50 weeks till till auto assembly. I'm not counting down now, but this last week seems to have gone very, very quickly. I think I would like it biannually, actually. That would be good. I would like that. Is that something you can make happen, Simon? Biannual auto assembly? I don't think so. It's probably far too much work. Yeah, it was awesome. It was great to see everybody again and meet all the new guys. It was really good. Got there on the Friday, and this is the thing about auto assembly. Whenever I get there, I get there and I usually get things given to me, and I give things away, and that's just a really good. It's a really good start to the weekend for me, and it just kind of sums up what the whole, that kind of plastic fraternity is all about. That the giving and receiving of pleasure and gifts, and just that how the whole collecting bug, talking about our collecting stories, trying to fathom out why we collect all these kind of wonderful things. They're all shared at auto assembly, so there is a very, very genuine sense of kinship and a real sense of profound friendship that builds up, that comes out at auto assembly. You have a really good sense of it, especially the YouTubers beforehand, even before they meet. You have a really good sense that you're going to get on, and you're going to, it's going to work as a friendship, and then you meet in person, and 9 times out of 10 it really works. And what I noticed about auto assembly is that some years you'll get to speak to people that you wanted to speak to lots, and sometimes you won't get to speak to them very much at all. Like, for example, this year I hardly spoke to Matt at all, really. Matt Timey, that is. The past few years we would have had proper conversations, but that's just the way it goes. You meet up once a year, and you catch up. You catch up if you can, because there are so very, very many people there. It was great to meet Stu at last, the wonderful Mighty Grimlock. It was great to meet him. He is a wonderful, genuine guy, and I suspected as much. His on-screen persona is very much like him in person, and it was just wonderful to meet him. A definite friendship there, and rekindling all the old friendships, reaffirming friendships. It's just great. If you're thinking about coming to Auto Assembly 2014, then do. Right, on to the haul. The very first thing that I got. So I got this ridiculous, impractical, and wonderful hoodie off a guy called James. James came through the door, long hair, he looked great, and he had one of these hoodies on. And I just clocked him and said, I like that. And then he zipped it up and gave me the whole effect, and I just thought it was brilliant. And then he came back a couple of minutes later with one in his hand, identical, and is that for sale? Yes, it is. I shall buy it off you. So I'm pleased I got that. I shall never wear this except at auto assembly. Never. But there you go. Now, starting in reverse order, the very last thing I bought. The word on things to buy. You go with lots of things in mind, and I'm looking at them there, and yeah, some of them I definitely wanted, and some of them I definitely didn't know that I wanted until I seen them. But then I definitely wanted. That's the way it goes. It's a really fun thing. So you come with a shopping list idea. Some people definitely stick to the shopping list. Some people print out a shopping list and bring it with them and either stick to it or not. And some of us make a shopping list and don't bring it. So this is the last thing I got as I was leaving, and I felt really wonderful and slightly dirty, but it was only £5, and it's the only deluxe that I don't have from the wave so far. Yeah, it's a Bumblebee. Don't tell anybody I got it, please. Now, something else that I got that I knew I wanted but forgot I wanted was this little Energon Starscream. Now, I already have a variant of this. It's the one that's kind of G1 coloration, but I think this is the original color. And This is a surprisingly good bot. Surprisingly good. Now he's small. He's deluxe, but he's uncharacteristically heavy for a deluxe. He's this is much heavier than it looks, especially this one. So much heavier than it looks, and so much sexier. Now, if we can get a little bit of a close up, let's see if I can show you any of that nice detail that abounds in this guy. Right, there's lots of panel. It comes with panel lines picked out. Now you can't really see them there, but it gives because very recently I got the Armada recolor of Starscream. He was recolored into the Energon version of this, so he's got this guy's livery, this guy's paint scheme, and he's just the Armada size version. So it kind of gives there's a bit of context for these two figures now, and I love this little guy. Now the next place I have to go, and some of you might be very surprised, very surprised, given my penchant for Beastformers, is this. Now I have this guy, and this is my third version of it, but it's the only one that I have that's complete. So, you know, it's one of those things that you need. There's a difference between need and want. You know, if you have an incomplete bot for years, then it eventually turns into, well, I need this. So, you know, if you get it initially and you don't have it, you want, say, a Beast Wars Megatron, as I did, and he arrived and he was incomplete, and that does for a while, that's okay. But after a while it becomes, I need a complete one. So I got a complete one. This thing is usually missing, and his little hip missiles are usually missing. I thought I had one, but there you go. Now I do. Now the first bot I bought was on Friday night when I got there, and it's this guy. This, of course, is the wonderful Generations Astro Train. Look at that. I love my new camera. Of course, had Tank or Octane for ages, and this guy didn't get a very good release where I lived at the time. Didn't get a very good release at all, and subsequently his price has gone up and up and up. And I bought it off a guy for £5, and which I thought was an absolute bargain. It is an absolute bargain, but he undersold him to me, and he could have got a bit more money. So I felt quite bad, so I went up and I just handed him a Generation 1 cup, and then I felt good. And now for the next bot, something that was on the shopping list, and I'm really pleased I got it. We're going back to Beasts for this very wonderful, batshit crazy, mad as a piano, Mac Kick, and he transforms into a horse. Now he's also sometimes, well, laughingly referred to as My Little Pony, although he doesn't look like a My Little Pony. That is great. Now he's got one of these faces. It's amazing face. Looks a bit like a Power Ranger, and he looks. Now I've often mentioned violent poo faces, but this guy has a constipated face. He looks like he hasn't had a shit in 2 weeks. Looks like a Power Ranger that hasn't had a shit in a fortnight. Right? Get ready for this. There you go. That's it. Poor Red Ranger needs some Senecot or whatever, how it works. This guy is great. Look at this. This is, wow, look at that shit there. He's got an intermediary mode, which is just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. He's got hair. This little bot has got hair. He's great. He is, of course, a shell form, and he is a nightmare to transform, but I needed a little Mac Kick in my life, and I am a better person for it. Now let's go to Generation 1 for a truly exciting toy. This for me is truly exciting because it's the last of the deluxe Insecticons I needed. This is Generation 1 Ransack. It's just missing a shield. I can live with that. I have all the deluxe Insecticons now in various stages of completion. This is the wafer thin and surprisingly heavy. Now it goes from, you know, this kind of plastic, which is be really careful, to his arms. When you're transforming his arms, it's so scary. It really is scary. It's no wonder that the arms are often broken. But then there's a big chunk of metal in him somewhere because he's weighty. He is lovely. Absolutely delighted to have it. I shall review all the deluxe Insecticons at some point. So staying with Generation 1, here is Generation 1 Bruticus. Now this should have been in my collection such a long time ago. This guy's complete. But the story is, the reason I don't have him, or didn't have him rather, is because I had the RID Ruination, or the version I had, which I think is, you know, it is called in English Ruination or Baldigus. Baldigus, that's just rude. That sounds like an old man who can't get off the toilet. It's just, it's a horrible name. The bot's fine, but what's wrong with it? Plastic. That thing does not want to be played with. It doesn't want to be played with. It feels like all you should do is attach Lou rules to it and stick it in the bathroom. It's not a very nice bit of plastic at all. I find it so distasteful. I didn't want to play with it, and I nearly discounted it from my collection. But he's over there in a box being displayed, and that's where he belongs. But now you see, I can quite happily look back on this guy and think that ruination, baldigus, and think, well, I'm pleased to have him now because this is where it all begins. This guy's complete and he's absolutely fine. So I couldn't wait, and I had to get Blitzwing, and then it was either Springer or Spamstorm. My God, that would be a very interesting Monty Python based bit of weather, wouldn't it? No, Springer or Sandstorm. That's it. So I went for Sandstorm. Why did I go for Sandstorm? I shall tell you why. Because unlike the vast majority of Transformers collectors, my favorite Generation 1 Triple Changer is Sandstorm. As much as I love my Decepticons, and Triple Changers for me are the place to be, Sandstorm is my favorite Generation 1 Triple Changer, and this guy is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm attempting to build a crescendo. I don't know if it's working or not. We shall see in the final edit. So I wanted Prime Unicron, and the only Prime Unicron I could find, I wanted a couple of Prime things. I wanted Unicron and I wanted Breakdown. Not a one Breakdown could I find, but I shall come to that later. People are awesome. Where was I? Yes. So I wanted a Unicron. The only Unicron I could find was in a 2-pack along with Prime, and I thought, I don't need another one of those Primes in my life, thank you very much. So the only other Unicron that I could find was this one. And he's lovely. Yeah. This I initially felt quite disappointed that I would have to buy this one, and I absolutely paid for him. This guy was 50 quid. I was initially a little disappointed that I would have to buy him, but he is so beautiful. This is Nightmare Unicron. He is so beautiful. Now, there's an interesting aesthetic with this guy. In in everything else, there is a uniqueness in this guy's aesthetic, in his coloration. Now, yes, you could say he looks a bit like a Nemesis or something like that, but it's just the aesthetic of this guy, the color scheme. Your eye kind of jumps to him. In the room, everything kind of looks like it belongs together, and then it's like, what's that? Because he's sitting up there in the slightly special shelf. He is lovely. Now I haven't taken him apart and put him in. I haven't made either of the armors yet. I haven't done that. Now he really does not transform into anything at all. They call it like a space cruiser or something like that, and that's just, to me, silly. Even the head looks silly. The mountain, whatever, the head mountain looks silly. I think the armor looks silly. But this, it's enough to have him in this mode. And look, all you need to do is turn him around the back. Just spin him around. That's the transformation. That's the only transformation that's needed. Just turn him around. He looks awesome. Speaking of awesome, I tell you who's awesome. Ed's awesome. Bumblejumper82 is awesome. Ed is a wonderful guy. I met him very, very briefly last year. And I had a chat with him, and I think I persuaded him to start doing vids on YouTube. So I do feel slightly responsible for all that, and I'm so pleased that he's taken that very, very rewarding plunge. I think Stu would agree with me. Really, really rewarding. And he was kind of in our little group. You know, there was the clique kind of. There is a certain clique that happens at Auto Assembly. I mean, I normally hang out with the same people, but that it's kind of an expanded universe, because the clique is added to and subtracted from throughout the weekend. It's a really interesting process to watch. And Ed came in and out of my clique, and I went in and out of his clique, and he said he found a breakdown, and I said, where did you find it? I haven't found any breakdowns anywhere. And I said there were swerves, plenty of swerves, and plenty of the Silas breakdown. And the Silas breakdown is probably a little bit sexier, but this is the one I wanted. Now the only reason I have that is because I said, "Oh, I want that," and he said, "Here you go," and he handed it to me. He handed this to me, and I'm just. Oh. He's just, I was so humbled. This guy is absolutely lovely. I tell you what, it took me 45 minutes to apply the stickers, which was very interesting. Now, I give Ed a landmine. I give him a landmine. Yeah, you put that in your backyard and have great fun with it. Yeah, you know what I mean. But I also have, where is it? It's over there. Right, Ed, you watch. Here we go. This is that. That's yours. That's your Grimlock. So I'm going to send you that Grimlock because I said I would. Because he got most of the build team. Well, he got half of the build team. So I have a Grimlock complete here, and it's yours. Definitely. Because you spend a lot of money in this guy, and then you give him to me because I said I wanted it. I either sounded like a petulant child, or it was genuine fondness. I'd like to think it was the latter. So, wonderful. This guy is very, very nice. Yes, there is an awful lot of bots. So, there's a few more to come as well. So I spied this little thing out of the corner of my eye, and I thought, what's that? Is that a... And then all of a sudden it came back. It was like, oh, yes, I've always wanted one of those. And I kind of forgot that I wanted it. It didn't make my Auto Assembly 2013 list because I kind of forgot about it because it's relatively obscure. And then I seen it and I thought, must have. Look at it, look at it. Look at it, look at it. Oh, it's lovely. Absolutely beautiful. This is well, they were our Beast Machines, of course. Deluxe Dinobots Rapticon. He's part of the Dinobots naturally, with along with T-Rex and Air Raptor, and you've got the Tyrannotron. Here, I want that boy. There he is, right at the back. Let me see if we can get rid of my face and do a bit of focusing. Just about. You see, there's the other guys at the side. T-Rex and the awful Supreme Cheetor. But this guy's great. Now, of course, he's a repaint of Transmetal Dinobot. I don't need to open this guy because he looks great in this. He looks great in the package. Usually I get a few things every year that I'm not going to open, that are just going to go onto the wall and just look really sexy. This guy is one of them. He is very, very sexy. And now again, something I didn't know I wanted and it wasn't on the list, but it's one of my favorite molds and one of my favorite color schemes. And it was a really good price and I didn't haggle. I'll just have that. Thank you very much. This is the eHobby exclusive. The repaint of G2 Prime, G2 Laser Prime, or Scourge, depending on whatever you like. And this is the Magnus, or Prime of Justice, I think they call it, which doesn't really work for me. It's eHobby, and he is absolutely lovely. I've had him out of the box, and I tell you, there's a very funny thing because he comes with Optimus Prime's sticker sheet, and all the box artwork is Optimus Prime, as you can see. Where are we? Yeah, it's all Prime. So they haven't bothered to change a thing. This guy is so good. I'm not putting Optimus Prime stickers in this boy. He looks absolutely awesome as it is. I've got Scourge sitting in this box over there, and I've got G2 Laser Prime. I think he's up there. So I've got them all now. This guy is just awesome. Now there'll be one more little thing after this lot. I became aware of this bot last year properly for the first time when George got it in a 2-pack along with Sandstorm for a really bargain price, and he got it MOSC, mint unsealed card, and he's not opened it, and I think that's very wise. And then this year I got there and someone else was selling it, only one in the whole Auto Assembly, and I must have it, and I did. There he is. He's MOSC. Now this is the last time the BotCon used blister packs because people were complaining because they couldn't open the toy without destroying the package. So everything since then has been in cards. Something you can open. This is MOSC. Now, so this is Beast Wars Silverbolt, obviously. Now let me just do a little bit of moving here. Now if you see, we are up here, and there's your Silverbolt, and there is the Universe Silverbolt. So this is, I believe that this is the last one of these molds that I needed. So I think I've completed the mold. I think I've completed all the iterations of the mold. Very, very nice. He sits up there alongside the Rapticon, and he will never be opened because I know what the mold is like. That's why I don't open it. I don't need to open it. If I want to play with this, I just imagine a white Silverbolt. He's really pleased. I'm really pleased. I'll probably review him someday, but I won't take him out of the pack. How does that work? We shall see. So this is my last item. I'm pretty sure it's my last item. There are 4 items here, so that might give you a clue as to what it is. I don't think I've forgotten anything. I got a few minor things, like I completed my Thunderclash, so I got all these missiles and his little gun. Tell you, you'll pay for that boy's gun, you really will. There may be a few other things, but they're just kind of finishing touches. And I will review a lot of what I got at Auto Assembly over the course of the next months. You know how it goes. But this is a haul video. I love haul videos. I like to see what everyone gets. I kind of knew because I was there. People bought it, and we were all exchanging the stories. So this is. These are. That's the right way to say it. These guys are. These 4 things are. These 4 things are. The last things that I needed to complete my Beast Wars collection properly. So now I have a properly completed my Beast Wars. Properly completed it. Picture it, Sicily, 1984. No. Anton came running, Anton is Prime, you know who I'm talking about. Came up to me just out of the blue, and I could see he wanted to say something. So what was it? Because he had a bag. Anybody approaches you with that kind of face, an excited face and a bag, you want to talk to them. And he said, "Are you still looking for the mutants?" Yes. And mutants never appear. I say never. Well, obviously, rarely appear at auto assemblies. I don't know about the rest of the conventions, but they're not easy to find. Now, mercifully, they come without accessories, which I'm so pleased about. I don't need any more accessories in my life. And Anton came up and he opened the bag and he produced this. And there was a little sticker on it that said £10, and I was giving him the £10, and he said, "No, it's a present." And people are awesome now. Anton, this is the find of the convention for me. These little things that no one else would want. No one else would want them, but you found them. If you hadn't have found this, I'm pretty sure I would have gone home without these. I've got all of them. They were all there. He said, "I know where they all are." So, very, very excited, he led me by the hand through the throng. It was a tense moment. I might just say it was a tense moment. This is Iceberg. He is awesome. Awesome. Soundwave. This is Generation 1 Soundwave. Awesome. Stay there. Razor Claw. Awesome. Poison Bite. Awesome. They are all awesome. They're all awesome. These are the Beast Wars mutants. Now, these are the ones that I've been looking for such a long time, and found them courtesy of Anton at Auto Assembly 2013. Anton, these have a pride of place in my glass Detol, for whatever the fuck you call those things, sitting over there along with my so many other things. They have pride of place in there because I've been looking for them for a long time. So now I've completed my Beast Wars collection. They go between. They have two beast modes and no bot mode, which I love that. I love it. Absolutely love it. And I'll review these guys all at once someday. But all I wanted to do is to say that this, at the very end of Auto Assembly 2013, I get an absolutely amazing haul. But at the very end, I left certainly the happiest man there, because I had some amazing gifts handed to me by some wonderful people, and I've met for the first time some wonderful people, some amazing people, and I reacquainted myself with lots of really, really special, really important old friends. People who will be friends for life, I'm sure, and I have found some of the most amazing plastic that I've been searching for years. There's no reason for me not to go to Auto Assembly 2014. There is no reason for me not to go. And if you like the sound of this, if this sounds like it's your thing, it's probably because it will really be your thing. Now, I'm not paid by Auto Assembly to endorse them, but I would recommend you go because it's so very good. I imagine that the very first review I will do is these Beast Wars mutants, the things that I've been looking for quite some years now. Found them all complete, and they are wonderful. So this has been quite a mammoth haul, I know that it has, but hey, we save up and we get some very cool things. I buy all my plastic in the space of 2 days at Auto Assembly, and well, and then I buy some more. That's the way it goes. Great times, good times, the very best of times, really was, and looking forward already to Auto Assembly 2014. Would love us all to meet somewhere. Maybe halcyon days, head off to the old whatever the name of that hotel is in Queensway in the middle of Birmingham. We'll spend a couple of nights there and just bring bots and hang out and drink beer. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, we shall see. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a really happy Ray with lots of really good plastic and lots of really good friends. Wishing you a very good night.
Now that's what I call a robot in disguise. Thank you very much. Good night.